We're good?
Yep.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Apologize for being late. The meetings ran long in the walkthrough this morning. So with that, I'll take your questions.
Mike, on Tyron's injury, was that something that came out of Wednesday's practice? And if he's unable to play on Sunday, what are your options at that position?
Well, it's something that happened during individual yesterday. So we're really, frankly, just going through the process. Going through gathering the information. But as far as the plan, I mean, you're always working different scenarios. So we'll continue to do that today and tomorrow, and we'll see how Tyron is tomorrow. Will probably be the determining factor.
Do you generally, as an overall rule, do you prefer to keep a player, just move up a player rather than move a player over from another spot in the offensive line, since that would require two different changes?
I agree with you. I think you always would prefer to go one for one if you can, because the continuity between each position is so important. The reps, but you also have to factor in the possibilities of other combinations. And the third component of that is where are the matchup challenges on game day. So really that is really done during the Monday, Tuesday game plan. So anytime you put together the personnel groupings on offense, you also have the combinations of how you're going to rotate both the offense and defensive line.
Has Zach Martin and Connor Williams seen any time at tackle in camp or in practice?
Yeah, those guys have taken some reps, but our combinations we'll hold that till Sunday, obviously, if we need to go in that direction. So I don't want to jump the gun with a bunch of hypotheticals.
How confident are you at this point that Tyron will be able to go?
Well, I don't have all the information, but I know he wants to go, and he's a pro, and he's doing everything possible with the training staff. So we'll see. We have time. We have another 48 hours, so we just got to make sure we do what's best for him personally, and we'll go from there.
One of the guys that you added for depth at the position, Alex Light, I know you had him in Green Bay a couple of years ago and was a long shot to make the team then. Can you tell us about Alex, and did the time that he had with you and Joe in 2018 help land him here in Dallas?
Yeah, he's an instinctive, tough football player. So, I mean, our time together was, when he was obviously a rookie. So he's got some experience under his belt, and I think his history with Joe Philbin, and Joe wasn't there, and Jeff Blasco. So there'll be some familiarity of what's expected. But good young player.
Hey, Mike, just as a general question, how did the COVID protocol change the way that you handle guys when you sign them like that, at the beginning of a week?
I mean, it's changed a number of things. I mean, it's obviously you have to go through protocol just to bring a player into the the man-made bubble environment that we've created. So there's a number of days of testing, and so just the whole process of player acquisition is on a different plane this year.
Mike, you've talked to us some about how Friday is Regeneration Day for your team. What does that mean? Can you take us through a little more of what y'all did today? And for guys like Amari or Tyron or Alden who were limited yesterday, what does Regeneration mean for those guys dealing with injuries?
Well, the key to it is really you're coming off a workload Thursday, so it's the heaviest part of our week as far as the time on the field, the padded practice, hitting all the situations. So the players are sore today, which they should be from the amount of work they did yesterday. We started at 7 a.m. with a young player meeting. That started at 7. Special teams and quarterbacks was 7:30. 8:30 was a team meeting. And that went to about 9 o'clock, and then we had a mock game review, which is an IR segment that we're on the field, kind of going through a walkthrough, jog through type tempo, hitting all the different situations, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. And then from that, we break into just this individual specific walkthrough. Oh man, I'm giving away all the secrets. Rich, what are we doing here? So, supposed to cut me off when I give away the secrets and intricacies of our program. I'm sorry for being so loose-lipped, but so we do that, and then we have meetings, and then at the end of the day, we have a 2-hour block. Is what we call the STAY program. It's formulated by our training staff and our strength and conditioning staff, where they just really make sure they're taking care of the players, particularly their legs. And it's STAY stands for soft tissue, activation and acceleration. So that goes on from noon till 2 o'clock, and the players are done at 2.
Mike, you had 3 rookies start for you week 1, and you've mentioned before, as you did a second ago, about this special rookie meetings that you have to get them. I guess I'd ask you to explain the purpose of that and how has that benefited you?
In my past job, we spent, so much time with the young team. We were always the youngest team in the league. I don't know how many years in a row. So it was something that was formatted back in 2006. And in the reality of today's NFL, you don't have 2 years or 3 years to wait on a development of a young player. So these young players are going to be playing early and often, and the statistics will tell you that November, December football is you have a lot of young players playing at that point in the season. So it's just the approach of educating those guys and frankly giving them the one-on-one teaching that they received all through training camp. So an opportunity to take their video, their snaps in practice, whether it be on a practice squad, the individual drills, the competitive group drills, the combo drills, and just get one-on-one teaching, by their position coach. So it's something that has worked very well for our program for over a decade.
Thank you.
Was Amari's situation something that popped up after the game, and is it all related to the issues he had last year, or is it something that popped up in practice this week?
Well, it's something he's dealing with, but he went through the mock game and everything today, so I don't foresee a setback there.
Mike, you were talking the other day about how just odd it was from a sound or sensory standpoint in that Rams game. They certainly didn't seem to use the 75 decibels. It's going to be a little louder at AT&T because you'll have fans, but do you also want that? Do you also want as much sound coming through as you can legally have in that game?
Well, there's a criteria that the NFL, institutes, and we'll follow the criteria. So, yeah, I'm not focused a whole lot on that. We try to tie our practice environment, directly to the game day environment, and I felt like we've achieved that both Wednesday and Thursday. So, less noise is definitely not the challenge of a lot of noise. So, that's really my view on it.
Last week, in talking about some of the game day logistics from the football operations standpoint, you mentioned, for example, the number of coaches in the booth will vary week to week. What are some lessons or feedback learned from week 1, but also from the Cowboys night at AT&T Stadium that you're carrying forward into this game, some things that you might be doing differently in week 2 than week 1?
Well, we'll really just focus on what we experienced in week 1 because, the criteria for the booth allocation of coaches was not completed yet during the blue and white scrimmage. So we actually had a full staff up there. So we'll be a week better, this week with the setup that we've used, and it's frankly it's kind of part of your game day operation plan. So whether you have 7 coaches up here, 5, 6, we'll make it work. And we spent some time Monday as a staff just reviewing the game day operation, the charts and all the extra information that's being collected, and just to make sure we're getting it exactly the way we want it. And this whole process is normal for a first-year staff, especially a staff that didn't have the preseason games to get the kinks out. So we'll be a week better, and then obviously we'll just adjust to the number of coaches that are allowed in the box.
So what's been your impression of your corner Braden Carr so far, especially the transitions to safety?
I'm sorry, can you start over, please?
What's been your impressions of Braden Carr so far, especially as he's made that sort of late career transition to safety?
I like Brandon Carr. He came in great shape. We just kind of protected him last week, but he's very smart, very instinctive player. You can see he has a great understanding, and I think he has excellent size and measurables, and more importantly, experience for the position. I think it definitely helps players when they're able to play throughout the position-wise, play throughout the secondary. I think it definitely makes them a better safety.
Arthur Smith missed practice yesterday at the dentist. Was he back today? Is he good to go for Sunday?
Yeah, holding his back, he went through the mock game today.
Did Tyron go through the mock game?
He did not. He's once again, we're still gathering information with Tyron's situation. Okay.
Thank you.
Good, Rich. All right. Thank you, everyone.